My brother is choosing his career over love. The fiancé put up with it until my brother tried to spend the whole wedding working on his laptop. My brother makes $500K a year designing websites for a tech company, but he never stops working, and his wedding was no exception. He even told his fiancée, Max, to handle everything so that he can work extra hours to afford his honeymoon. I thought it was a good idea and offered to help out, but whenever I was at their house, my brother would ignore Max trying to talk to him entirely, and lock himself in his office. I watched as Max did everything for the house and wedding, while also working a full-time job. I talked to my brother about it, saying he needed to take a step away from his work and spend one-on-one time with the man he is going to marry, but he just said Max seemed fine. I hoped this was just his way of having wedding stress, but in all the time I was helping prep the wedding, I never once saw my brother give any kind of affection towards Max, not even an I love you. I really tried to stay out of it, since it wasn't my business. But when we were suit shopping, both my brother and Max were there for measurements, and my brother brought his laptop along. Max was trying on suits to get an idea of what my brother would like, and he didn't look up once. I saw Max get sad, so I closed my brother's laptop and told him it was his turn to try something on. I kid you not, he tried on only one suit, and said he'd go with that one. It didn't even fit the theme. It was more for a black tie event rather than his wedding. He grabbed his laptop and said he was heading back to the office to catch up on work. Max just nodded his head and went back into the changing room. When I went to check on him, he was crying. I asked if he was okay and he just exploded into a sobbing mess. He explained to me that my brother was always serious about work, but thought he would loosen up after they got married, only he's been getting worse. He told me he loved my brother, and was the man for him, but he didn't know how much longer he could go without any attention or affection between them. I told him it was probably just nerves and I'd talk to him. We decided to reschedule for next week to continue finding a suit. That weekend I asked to have lunch with my brother so we could talk. At that point I was visibly surprised he didn't bring his laptop with him. I sat him down and explained how he had been acting, and how it was affecting Max, that he was going to ruin his relationship if he kept prioritizing work. My brother lashed out at me, telling me I had no idea what pressure he was under, that he was up for a promotion that would set him and Max up for life if he got it. I told him there would be no him and Max if he didn't focus on his fiancée. I told him to get more involved with the wedding planning, or at least plan a special date night with Max, but he had to do something. A month passed by, and I was unable to help Max out as much as before, as my work had me doing overtime, but he reported to me that everything was going smoothly, and my brother was involving himself more. I was happy for them, especially on the day of the wedding. I helped both my brother and Max with everything, and the entire ceremony went off without a hitch. It was gorgeous. Then during the reception, is when everything went to hell. As soon as my brother sat down at his table, he pulled out his laptop and started to work on a website he was designing for a customer. While Max was mingling with the guests, he just sat there, avoiding everyone. When I saw it, I went over and slammed his laptop closed. I told him he was being an awful husband, and needed to get himself together because this was his wedding, not a normal day at the office. He told me this was one of his biggest projects yet, and needed to finish it. At his wedding? I snatched his laptop away and told him he'd get it back after his dang wedding was over. He called me a B, so I just walked away and hid his laptop in one of the rooms attached to the venue. Afterwards, I saw him engaging with more people, and spending time with Max. When everything was done, they left to go home and pack for their honeymoon. I put my brother's laptop in their car right before they left, and I helped the cleaning crew finish up. The next day I got a call from Max and he was sobbing. He told me that my brother and him got into a huge fight after they got home, because my brother had been writing on cocktail napkins all night, working on the website, and had them stuffed into his pockets. When Max discovered them, he talked to him about everything that had been going on. My brother said some rude things that eventually led to him calling Max a gold digger. So Max went to his parents' place, and was now debating on annulling the marriage because he didn't want to spend the rest of his life like this. I asked if he wanted me to come over, but he asked if I could just go check on my brother, to see if he even cared or was still on his stupid laptop. I went over to my brother's place, but he didn't answer. He won't pick up his phone either, and I don't know what to do. I'm on Max's side, but I also know how much Max means to my brother, and I hate that he is going to lose him this way.